So if you're joining along with me, welcome to your mat. I'm here in Marfa at Cosmico, and it's such a beautiful day out. I've just been taking a little bit of a break from all the crazy. I had to come all the way out into the desert. So hopefully I can bring a little bit of this chill to you guys this morning, because I know that we all need it. So if you're joining along, we're going to start with a nice, easy seated position. So go ahead and find your way on your mat to a nice, comfortable seat. If it's okay for the legs to be crossed, you can keep them crossed. If you have any issues with the knees, feel free to straighten a leg or both legs. And then once you've found your seat, let the palms of your hands start by resting right on the top of your thighs. And go ahead and softly close your eyes here. And just begin to take a few long, deep breaths as you begin to tune in. Taking first a moment to recognize any sensations in your physical body. I know for me, I've been experiencing a lot of anxious energy this week, so I'm experiencing a little of that as I sit here. And if you're like me and you feel a little anxious or chaotic, let's start to deepen our breath here. We're going to take a box breath, a 4-part inhale, holding that inhale for 4 counts, a 4-count exhale, and then we'll hold out that exhale for 4 counts. So getting ready to begin, empty out completely, and then we'll begin with an inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then pause, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, and then pause at the bottom, 3, 2, 1. Begin again, inhaling, 2, 3, 4, pause, 3, 2, 1, exhale, 2, 3, 4, and pause, 3, 2, 1, and then begin again, inhaling, 2, 3, 4, pause, 3, 2, 1, exhale, 2, 3, 4, and then pause, 3, 2, 1. Just come back to a natural breath. Take note if perhaps you're feeling a little more calm or centered or focused on your mat. And let's bring the palms of your hands together and just begin to briskly rub them against one another, feeling a little bit of heat, a little bit of friction between the hands. You know, our palms are an extension of our heart when we talk about our chakra, our energetic system. So when we bring heat to the hands, it's a way of warming our hearts. So let's take that warm-hearted energy and just take the palms, interlace them, and let them come right across the chest. This weaved palm mudra is called unshakable trust. So for me, in these times of uncertainty, in these times where I sometimes am not in control, I like to come back to my mat and this idea of trust, that we trust that all will be well in the end. We trust our own intuition to guide us. And then we're going to take a moment and just think about the others that are joining you in this practice this morning, even though we're not sharing the same physical space. Just knowing in your heart that we're all in this together. And as a honor to that connection between us, we will take 3 rounds of Om. Starting with a cleansing breath in through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out. And inhale for Om. Flush away from your sit bones. Get nice and tall through the spine. And let's take an inhale. Extend your fingers up. Wake them up. Reach up. And then as you exhale, take a forward fold. Hands come to the ground. Wherever you are, let the head get nice and heavy here. Shoulders roll away from your ear. And feel your breath here lifting into the back of your heart. Perhaps all the way down into the low back. Feeling anxious, we can often be in that state of adrenaline rush. So our adrenal glands get overworked. So a nice forward fold, breathing into the low back, beginning to nourish our nervous system. On your next inhale, begin to walk the hands all the way back up. I want you to bring your legs together out in front of you. You're going to bring the hands back, fingertips facing away from you, and you're just going to walk the hands towards the back of your mat. We're going to start to work out in the shoulders here. Today's practice will be opening up our hearts, which again is an extension into our shoulders and our hands and our arms. So as you lean back here, continue to lift the heart space, maybe even letting the head come back and opening up the throat. Take a big breath in as you lift the chest. One more exhale here. On your next inhale, use your hands to begin to walk yourself back up. Kind of shake out the elbows. All right, you're going to bend your left knee and bring it to the inside of your right leg. Keep your right leg nice and straight here. Take an inhale, 10 fingers up towards the sky. And as you exhale, forward fold over a long straight leg. Again, hands can be on the ground. They can be on your leg. If you're able to reach the foot, maybe even capturing the foot. And then roll the shoulders back. Let your head get heavy. And once again, letting the breath lift the back of the heart, the mid-back, and the low back. One more breath here. And on your next inhale, begin to walk your torso back up. Bend your right knee. Take your left knee to meet. And then bring both hands, this time facing towards your body here. We're going to lift the hips up into a reverse tabletop. Taking the hips all the way up. Once again, feeling that open chest. And maybe letting the head fall back. Taking one more breath. Press the earth away and lift your hips and heart. And as you exhale, allow the hips to come all the way to the ground. Extend the left leg this time. Bring the right foot to come to the inside of that left leg. As you inhale, we'll extend all 10 fingers up towards the sky. And as you exhale, begin to melt your upper body over that left leg. Taking the hand to the floor, onto the leg, maybe capturing the foot, but letting the shoulders roll away from the ears and the head get heavy. We'll take 3 long breaths here, in and out. breath in and empty out. On your next inhale, begin to walk up, taking that left knee to the sky. We'll take one more of that reverse tabletop or altar pose, fingertips coming behind the hips on an inhale. Lift up and find that altar, the hips, chest, maybe even opening up the throat. One more breath to press the mat away. And then as you exhale, lower the hips. We're just going to turn over and find that tabletop on the other side. So coming around, however you get there, bringing the knees right under the hips and the palms right underneath the shoulders. Spread the fingers wide. Take an inhale, let the belly button drop down towards the mat as you lift up your gaze. As you exhale, tuck the chin, round the spine, really pressing the back of the heart high. A few more rounds with your breath. Inhaling, drop, and exhaling to round. If either of these shapes feel extra yummy, extra juicy for you, maybe you hold it a little bit longer and really take a few breaths to feel the heart open or that back space open. One more round through this cat-cow, belly dropping deep and really finding that nice Halloween-like cat spine. On your next inhale, find a nice neutral spine tabletop. Bring your knees a little bit wider this time, big toes to touch. We're going to find our first child's pose, sitting hips to heels, walking the fingertips forward, third eye meets the mat. Try to soften your shoulders, maybe walk your hands towards the sides of your mat a little wider. Let the elbows be heavy onto the ground. Maybe shake your head gently from side to side as we massage the third eye point, helping to ground us here. And waking up, the palms press down into the mat. Draw the navel in and press your hips back towards your heels. Feel your spine really getting long here. Taking one more breath in and out. On your next inhale, begin to walk your hands over towards the right side. So try to keep both hips sitting back. That left hand may come on top of the right. Bring the breath this time into the left rib cage, really opening and expanding the side of the heart. On your next inhale, walk through center. And then with the exhale, take it to the other side, over towards the left. Maybe that right palm coming on top of the left hand. This time you're breathing into the right rib cage, really letting it expand with each big breath. Last one in and out here. And with your next inhale, go ahead and walk your hands back into the center of your mat. On your next inhale, begin to press yourself back up into your tabletop pose. From here, with the wrists under the shoulders, knees stacked again under the hips, we're going to take the right leg and extend it back. So you can keep your toes tucked, or you can lift the heel high up towards the sky and really press that foot long, pull the heart long. You want the crown of your head moving straight forward. Take an inhale here and an exhale. On the next inhale, begin to lift your heel as you lift your gaze. And then as you exhale, draw that right knee in towards your nose. Inhale, stretching out. Lift the gaze, lift the heel. Exhale, draw a knee towards your nose. Last inhale, stretch and lengthen here. Exhale, draw knee to nose and pause. You can lift your right hand to help you out here. We're going to bring that right foot all the way between the hands. And then begin to walk it forward. Sink into your hips here. So really get low. If you notice that front knee coming in front of the ankle, then go ahead and come back. Walk your front foot even deeper so that as you really dip down into the pelvis and the hip flexor, your stacking knee over hip. Right hand and left hand can meet on the right thigh, pressing gently to help you get lifted and open into the chest. You can stay right here. Otherwise, leave your right hand on your thigh. Begin to lift that left arm up towards the sky, lowering the left shoulder, perhaps lifting your gaze, taking one more breath and feeling that nice open stretch in the left hip. As you exhale, go ahead and bring that left hand to the floor. Right hand pressing into the thigh. We're just going to twist open towards that right side. You can keep your hand here or reach the right hand up to the sky. Taking one more breath in. And as you exhale, bring the right hand back to the outside of your left. Shift back towards that left knee. Sweep your right knee to meet the left. Find your tabletop pose once again. We'll take a quick cat-cow to reset the spine, belly down on an inhale, and chin tucked round on an exhale. On your next inhale breath, go ahead and find a neutral spine once again. This time the left toes will move back behind us and tuck under. You can lift the heel off the mat, begin to activate through the navel points, crown of the head long. And then with the next inhale, begin to lift your gaze, lift your heel. As you exhale, draw knee toward your nose around the back. Inhale, extend and lift. Exhale, rounds. Last one, inhale, stretch it out and lift. As you exhale, draw it in and round. Pause. Maybe helping by lifting that left hand, we're going to step the left foot forward. Begin to wiggle it deep as you dip down into that right hip. Once again, as you come all the way forward, ankle right underneath your knee here will get us the best stretch. Left hand to thigh, right hand meets it. Begin to peel your chest up and back. Shoulders roll away from the ears, belly in. You can stay here or lift the right arm this time, stretching it nice and tall. Maybe even lifting up the gaze. Drop both shoulders from your ears. Take one more full breath in here. And as you exhale, go ahead and bring that right hand to the inside of your left foot. Left hand stays on your thigh. Begin to twist up and open. Rolling your shoulders back. You can stay here, or that left hand may reach up towards the sky. Big full breath, stretching long in. As you exhale, go ahead and bring that left hand down. Tuck your right toes under this time, lift the knee. You're going to step forward. Feet are going to be nice and wide, finding ragdoll. Belly towards thighs, nice generous bend in your knees. And just let your upper body dangle down. Let your brain drain. Maybe shake the head yes and no. To relax my face here, I like to flutter my lips. Maybe a couple of those. Last few breaths. You can perhaps grab onto the elbows, add a little weight as you really decompress all the way through the vertebrae and the neck and spine. And then dropping your fingertips towards the mat, slowly begin to unravel yourself all the way up to standing. Finding your Tadasana pose. Take an inhale, extend all 10 fingers up towards the sky, and as you exhale, let the thumbs come to meet right at your heart. Nice. Take an inhale here, and exhale. On your next inhale, extend your fingers high one more time. This time on the exhale, take it low, forward folds. Inhale, we'll find a halfway lift. Hands to the shins or even up to the thighs. Really get long through your spine here. And as you exhale, bring the palms down to the earth. We're stepping both feet back. Finding a high push-up. You can do this from a full plank, or you can do it from a modified plank, letting the knees drop. I'm going to take a modification this morning. Even if the knees are dropped, we're still keeping our core nice and strong here. We'll take one more breath. And then on an exhale, lower all the way down to the belly. All the way down. Unravel your toes. And then we're going to take your hands left and right, so they're probably on the ground off of your mat to either side, elbows straight up to the sky. On your inhale, begin to peel your chest up towards cobra, really wrapping those elbows back. As you exhale, drop it down. Do that again. This time we're going to stay up. Inhale, come up. And as you exhale, drop that right shoulder, begin to look up and over your left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, drop your left shoulder, look over your right. Inhale one more time to center. Exhale all the way down. Bring the palms back underneath the shoulders. Inhale up to tabletop. As you exhale, take a moment in a child's pose. Knees are narrow this time. Taking one breath in and out here. And then on your next inhale, make your way up through tabletop and into downward facing dog. Tuck your toes and let your hips lift up. So in our first down dog, just bend one knee, press the opposite heel towards the mat, walking out your legs here. And letting both heels extend. Take a bend in the knees, really lift and open up through the hips. Take one more big full breath in and exhale it out. Look forward to your hands and then walk your feet all the way to the top of your mats. On an inhale, find a nice flat spine. Exhale, we bow. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up, fingertips high. Exhale, take it back down, swan dive. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bring the palms to the mat. Take a big step with your left foot to the back of the mat. We're going to spin the heel down, stacking the right ankle under the knee. We're finding warrior one. Start with the hands on the hips. Dipping into that left knee, or that right knee, pressing into the outer edge of your left foot. Now I want you to really square your hips forward. So drawing that right hip back, left hip forward. Dip into that right knee. Seal the outer edge of your back foot down. Hands can now come to the heart, or maybe all the way up to the sky. Taking a breath, maybe lifting your gaze. One more inhale here. With the exhale, drop the hands back behind you. Interlace the hands. Inhale, puff open the chest. And as you exhale, we're bowing forward, bringing your belly towards the inside of your thigh. Hands can rest on the low back. Let your head get heavier. You can stay here. Maybe you wrap the hands away from the back. Get a little bit deeper stretch in the shoulders. We'll re-find that grounding through the feet. Release your hands, and on an inhale, we'll rise back into warrior one. As you exhale, bring your hands to the mat. Take that right foot to meet the left. Your choice here. You can come straight to down dog or lower down. We'll take a chaturanga, more traditional this time. Keeping the hands where they are for cobra pose. Elbows squeeze in. And then lower. Downward facing dog is where we'll go. Take a breath in and a breath out. Look at your hands. You're taking a big step with your left foot this time. Try to get it all the way between the hands, maybe wiggling it to get there. Your right foot will come down at a 45-degree angle for warrior one as we rise up. Hands come to the hips. Sink into your left knee and begin to square. Right hip forward, left hip back. Sealing the outer edge of the right foot down and bending your left knee, keeping it stacked here. Fingers can come to the heart, or the hands can reach to the sky. Taking one more breath here. As you exhale, release the hands behind the back, and then take your non-dominant grip. So switch until it feels a little funky here. And then we're going to find a nice big open heart on an inhale, and use that exhale to bow into humble warrior. Belly to the inside of your thigh. Letting the head and crown release. Hands can stay resting on the low back, or they can lift up and overhead if that's available for you. Taking one more breath here. Release your hands on the way back up. Inhale, reach warrior one. Exhale, palms to mat. Left foot meets the right. Once again, yogi's choice. Come straight to down dog. or you can take a flow, vinyasa, through belly coming into cobra and meeting in downward facing dog. Let's take just a couple of breaths in and out here. Last inhale. Get empty. And then walk your feet to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And we'll exhale to fold forward. This time we're going to sit your hips into an invisible chair. Try to lower them as deep as you can. Start with the hands right at your hearts. And then slowly begin to peel the belly up and away from your thighs. Roll the shoulders back. Shift the weight into the heels. Sit a little deeper. You can keep the hands here right at your heart center, or you can extend into a full lightning bolt, finding that chair pose awakened from heels to fingertips. Sit a little deeper. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, bow it forward. Inhale, halfway lift, heart long. Exhale, fold forward, hands to the mat. Take a step this time with your left foot and make it parallel to the back of your mat. Bending into that right knee, you're going to find warrior two this time. So the feet are going to be nice and wide, facing towards the long edge of your mat. Arms are parallel to the earth. Gaze over your right fingertips. We take our warrior. I like to remind that we're supposed to be warriors here, not warriors. So check into your mindsets. Take your gaze meaningfully over your right fingertips, as if you're looking at the horizon of your life. It's something that you might want in the future. We can keep our drishti there. Inhale, flip your right palm, and we'll begin to reverse the warrior. Left hand can come to the back leg or around the small of your back. Right arm reaching back. Taking one more breath in. And as you exhale, coming back up. We're going to straighten your right knee this time. As you inhale, extend through the right fingertips. Right hand coming down to the right shin. Left arm stacking straight up to the sky. So keep a little micro bend in your knees here so that you can really feel this peel open coming from the rib cage. So even here, it's a bit of a chest and heart opener. Taking one more breath in and exhale it out. Look down to your right foot. Start to rebend in your right knee, both hands to the floor. Coming into a low lunge, right foot steps back to meet your left. Find downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in here and an exhale out. Looking in between your hands, you're going to step your left foot forward, spinning your right heel down. So you're going to find your warrior two on the opposite side. Bending into your left knee, right over the ankle, setting your drishti, your gaze over your left fingertips. Feeling the fibers of your heart stretching as you extend even longer through the arms. Begin to flip your left palm, and as you inhale, reach it up and back. Right hand can slide down the right leg or reach to the small of the back. Taking one more full breath in and out. Inhale, begin to rise. Straighten your left leg. Extend through the left hand. Get long. Left hand to the left shin. Right arm up towards the sky. Finding triangle pose here with soft knees, firm belly, open heart. One more inhale and exhale. Inhale back into warrior two. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Left foot meets the right. Your choice to take a vinyasa here or to come straight to downward dog. Inhale, breath, and exhale. On an inhale, we're going to come forward into high plank. And with an exhale, lower all the way onto the belly. Start by bringing the hands back by the hips. Let the palms face down toward the earth or toward your mat, like a little backwards V here. Tops of the feet stay grounded at first. So we're going to inhale, just like cobra, lift the chest, rolling those shoulders back. Then begin to lift your legs, zip the belly in. Then lift your fingertips and shoot them back. Nice. Take one more inhale. Squeeze yourself up from the back body. Exhale, lower down. Bring your right ear to the mat. Flip your palms. Let your shoulders relax and round. Bring your breath back up into the back body. And then take that one more time. If you want to get a little deeper in the shoulders and the chest, you can interlace your hands behind the back. So we'll inhale through that 3-stage process. First lift the shoulders, then lift the legs. Then extend your knuckles or your fingertips if they're separate. Zip your belly up. Take another inhale, squeeze the back body. And then exhale, lower down, left ear. Hands relax, shoulders soften. Let the breath lift the back body. And from here, we're just going to roll over onto your back. So coming onto your back, bend your knees so that the soles of your feet are on the earth and knees are straight up to the sky. You want to bring your heels as close as you can get them into your hips here. Then pressing down through the feet, you're going to inhale and begin to lift your hips up into bridge pose. From here, keeping your elbows on the ground, bend your arms so the fingertips are facing towards the sky at 90 degrees. And then press into the elbows to lift your upper back and see if you can kind of walk your elbows closer. So feel free to stay here nice and powerful. Pull your chin away from the chest. Try to stay nice and open. Maybe you reach the hands long. You either grab onto the sides of your mat or maybe grab onto your own hand. Taking one more moment to ground down and lift. And then as you exhale, slowly lowering your hips to the earth. Let your knees windshield wipe from one side to the other. And then coming back into neutral. Begin to draw the knees up towards your chest. We're just going to rock and roll forward and backward, all the way up into a seated pose. All right, take the soles of your feet together and your knees nice and wide here, just like a little butterfly. And we'll take a little seated cat-cow. So as you inhale, lift up and open through the chest. And as you exhale, tuck your chin and pull the back of your heart back. So inhaling, lift and open. Exhaling, pull and round. One more time. Inhale, lift and open. This time, keep your heart lifted and then take it into a forward fold. Just as deep as you can get. Let the head relax down. And taking a few long, deep breaths here into the back of the body. As you inhale, begin to walk yourself all the way back up. I'm going to take your knees up towards the sky. Bring your hands behind you, facing towards your hips once again, like we were setting up for that altar pose. This time you're going to take your right ankle and you're going to cross it over your left knee. So you can stay right here, keep lifting up the chest. To get deeper into that right hip, you're just going to either bring your left foot closer towards your glutes or your glutes closer to towards your heel. As long as we're not compromising that upper back and rounding it here. Try to keep it nice and lifted. Flexing your right toes. Gently feeling that right knee pressing away from the body. Taking a few long, deep breaths in and out here. hands, straighten that left leg all the way out. You're going to take the right foot either to the outside of your leg or towards the inside of your leg. So if you're able to bring it on the outside, you can keep it there. Otherwise, on the inside of your knee is fine. Right hand comes back behind you. Take an inhale. You're going to sit up tall. Use that right arm like a brace. Left hand's going to grab your right knee, and you're going to twist yourself over towards the right. So each inhale, using that right hand to extend nice and long and tall. And each exhale, see if you can wring out a little deeper. So one more breath here. Inhale for that length. And exhale to twist. Inhale, come back forward. Take your left hand behind you in a little counter twist. Right elbow to the inside of your knee. Twist it out. And on your inhale, we'll come back into center. Straighten the right knee for a second and just shake them out. We're going to bend both feet back to the earth. Hands come behind you. This time the left ankle comes across the right knee. Flexing the left toes. Sitting up nice and open-hearted here. Maybe walking up a little closer, getting your hips closer to that right heel. And then flipping or flexing your left toes and feeling that left knee press away from the body. 2 more breaths here. And your next inhale, begin to lean back, straightening out your right leg. The sole of your left foot either comes to the inside or the outside of that right leg. Left arm is your foundation this time. You're finding that nice tall spine each inhale, and then with your exhale, twisting yourself over that left side. So 2 more like that. Inhale for length, exhale to twist. 1 more inhale for length, and exhale to twist. Coming back to center, right hand behind you, left elbow to your knee, counter twist over that right side. And then inhale, coming all the way back to center. Go ahead and extend your left leg to meet the right. We're going to move our blessings out of the way, get nice and grounded through the sit bones here. Take an inhale, sweep all 10 fingers to the sky. Sit up nice and tall, nice long spine. Take a soft bend in your knees, and then begin to fold your upper body over the legs. Once again, hands can come to the legs, the feet, or even just onto the floor. And then let's roll the shoulders back and away from the ears. Let the head get nice and heavy here. Taking 1 more breath in and out. On your next inhale, begin to come upright. We're going to find 1 more altar pose. Fingertips behind, knees to the sky, pressing into the feet and hands as you inhale. Lift your chest up towards the sky. 1 more breath in here. And then exhale. Go ahead and lower the hips back down. I'm going to slowly bring the feet together. We're going to slowly come down onto our back, but we're going to start with a little bit of fire. So sitting up nice and tall, hands are right behind the knees. Begin to walk your feet in toward you as you lean back. We're going to find a boat pose. So you'll find a point where you magically begin to float the feet. Then see if you can lift your shins parallel to the mat. At the same time, keep that nice open chest, shoulders back. You can keep your hands here for support or begin to extend your fingertips out. Keeping that chest lifted, shoulders rolling back. And we'll take 1 more breath here in and out. On your next inhale, start to lower, finding a little canoe, reaching towards your feet. 1 more breath here in. And then as you exhale, lower the heels and begin to take your arms overhead, stretching long, maybe interlacing your hands and pressing the palms and the feet in opposite directions. Taking 1 more breath. And then as you exhale, draw your knees up and in towards your chest. Rock out to relieve any tension in the lower back. And then go ahead and bring your knees wide as your armpits. Take the soles of your feet towards the sky as you grab onto the inner edges of your feet. Or perhaps you grab onto the inner edges of your knees. And if you choose to take a little rocking baby here, you can rock from side to side. And finding a nice neutral spine, just feeling your breath fill up the entire back of the body against the mat. In and out through the nose. And then take the feet and lift them straight up towards the sky. Taking waterfall, you can bring the hands underneath the hips and just kind of roll out your ankles, wiggle your toes, give your feet some love. And then taking a couple breaths, just letting that circulation come down from the feet. And then just allow the hands to come out from underneath the hips, hugging your knees into the chest. This time, keep your knees hugged in nice and close to the body. Let your arms open up side to side. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, let your knees fall over towards the left. Let them come all the way onto the ground. And then your gaze can be straight up or maybe over the right arm. You're trying to work that right shoulder to ground down. You can give yourself a little love, a little assist here by taking your left hand and pressing it down onto that right knee. Release the hand if you have it on your knee. We'll inhale the knees up towards the sky. And as you exhale, take your knees over towards the opposite side, all the way to the right. That right hand can be your own assist here as you anchor the knees down. Maybe the gaze comes over your left hand. And just begin to breathe as we settle towards our final resting pose. Knowing that all these postures are just meant to help prepare us for a more peaceful and easy Shavasana. And begin to draw the knees back up to the chest. Wrapping your arms around your shins, take an inhale and lift your nose up toward your knees. Squeeze yourself into a tight little ball. Take the biggest breath you've taken all day. Hold that breath and squeeze it in. And then sip a little more air in. And then as you exhale, find the complete opposite. As you just let everything open up into a nice, relaxing corpse pose. Palms face the sky, feet open wide. And as you lie here, just observe. Start by observing your breath, noticing if your awareness gets drawn in any direction towards a sensation or a thought. And if any of those arise, acknowledge and allow them to be there. And then make a conscious choice to come back to your breath, into this place of ease. And this is where we're able to really do the work of our practice. The definition of yoga is the cessation of the fluctuations of the mind. So before we can bring our thoughts to a halt, we must first just observe the movement. And then we begin to bring in our power of choice. Something I've connected with a lot this week when I'm feeling anxious. my energy kind of percolating and vibrating at a really high frequency. By just taking notice, I have the option to stay there or to come into a softer place using my breath to get me there. So last few moments here, just allow yourself to breathe and be ease. Begin to slowly reawaken your toes, and then rolling out your ankles. Maybe turning your feet in and out, feeling the hips start to wake up. Bringing movement into the fingers, the hands and the wrists. Starting to roll out any more kinks you have in those spaces. And then taking a full body stretch, reach your arms overhead, reach your feet long. And the knees will come up and in towards the chest. Hug yourself. And then rolling over towards your favorite side. Just take a moment in the fetal position, or position of transition. And press yourself up gently, finding a nice comfortable seat. Just as we began, let's take the palms onto the thighs. Gently close the eyelids. Just begin to tune back into your space. Just noticing anything shifted for you in this practice. We have a whole community out there sharing their energy from afar, and we can acknowledge our unity through the vibration of our voice in Om, or the vibration of consciousness. We'll take a cleansing breath first, in through the nose, and a big sigh out. that guides our way. We acknowledge the space not only within ourselves, but within all living things. I acknowledge each of you for taking time this morning to show up on your mat and the wisdom that brought you here. And may the same wisdom and light